Okay, folks, and yeah, I was away for a bit there. There's a lot of stuff in the world going on, and I got a little bit involved. Apparently, Twitter apologized to removing one of my accounts and gave it back. I was like, let's go check this out. Right? I'd never used that particular account. I had gone and created another one and whatever. Right? And it's sitting there in a locked state until I give them a cell phone number for what was it, 2 Augusts ago during the pandemic, Jack decided to change how drafts were done. He made it harder on a PC to do a draft and save it to like a template so you could bring something up and just put it out, right? And but it was not changed for mobile. So I says, at Jack, you're a moron. And they called it hate speech. And then in the emails back and forth, I says, I don't hate the guy. I just think he's stupid. And I used a really strong word. And that's a problem with society now. Everybody's off going, beep, 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 beep. And some of the people you meet on this Twitter are just, wow, they got nothing better to do than troll you and all this other stuff, right? And I'll say this, okay? Um, these CNN people are just disgusting, okay? They come out right before the van incident with a story about a pregnant woman who got shot in the head and stomach, and they're blaming guns, okay? I said, maybe if she had a gun, she could have defended herself against the nut bar. The problem is that then you'd have another Kyle Rittenhouse, and you'd still be raging about that it's guns that are the problem, okay? Not these wingnuts, okay? And then I says, in this van incident where the guy's supposed to be in jail, like, I'm not a perfect human being. I've done time in jail for bad things that I did when I was younger. And, it's like when I was there, I was guilty, and it would drive me nuts that I'm in there for one thing, and here's a guy getting 30 days for 30 break and enters. I mean, who's the mouthpiece there, right? Like, what the hell's going on here? Some people were just, so, I'm not perfect. But anyway, and you get those people like that try to bait you into proving your past of being some hacker or whatever the hell. And I'm laughing at people like that because I got nothing to prove, man. Whatever I did, and you weren't part of it, obviously. In fact, one of the things to say about that is that yes, there were 150 groups in 67 countries, and not one group was in the USA. Why is that? Because of its surveillance and laws. I did not want to put kids at risk of getting into any trouble just because they had a hissy fit and had an argument with somebody and then, whatever. Okay? Because 99% of the time I would intervene in these other instances and something peacefully was happening. Okay? And another thing, okay? You know, I sit there and I'm the kind of person, okay? If you want to drag me into your frickin' politics, left or right or center or whatever, and you say something stupid, okay, I'm going to call you on it, regardless of what your politics is, okay? That's who I am, okay? And you look at the inflation that's going on where people don't have very much money. What did Trudeau do during the pandemic? He rose our internet 58% here, okay? There was a court ruling his CRTC guy overturned, okay? And then what's he do? He tries to do Bill C-10, and sneakily, him and the NDP and Bloc tried to, get in there and take user protections out so that when this video comes up, I'd have to pay to put it there and have the government vet and listen to it. And if I said anything they don't like, I get fined or put in a jail. Okay? Does that sound like, what nation does that sound like? Does that sound like Canada? Does it sound like the USA? Does it sound like a Western democracy? Or does it sound like China? Okay? And you wonder why I would vote for the Conservative Party, who was the only party who was defending against it. And listen, I said the same thing to Trump's people, okay? I'm sitting there and I says, listen, I can disagree with Trump because I'm in Canada and I don't like his tariffs on my country. I says, I have nothing to do with the aluminum trade. It's got, but I don't think that's good for our nation that you're doing that. We're an ally, right? I says, but these Biden people, these batshit crazy. Look at this fucking shit that they're doing here. That Afghanistan withdrawal was disgusting. What kind of an idiot does that? And I'll tell you something, eh? It just goes on and on and on and on. This is why we play games, by the way. So we don't have to listen to this kind of shit and have some fun. Sorry, but the last few days have been a little bit, yeah, okay, what the hell? You know? And I'm sure that there's a few of those Twitter people out there that have gone and tried to report an image that I posted that Twitter actually apologized to me for. So, by the way, go ahead. I put that on a mug and sold it at Cafe Press and gave the money to charity, okay? After the FBI illegally attacked us up here in Canada and got their ass handed to them, by the way. All right? Like, you want to do a war game, and I'm also, back then there's a lot less laws about things, and businesses were looking to guys like me to protect them, legally. Right, so doing security and network stuff, setting up their websites properly, blah 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 blah. Right, so I'm looking after 900 business. I says, "You're going to compensate us?" And they says, "No." I says, "Well, go fuck yourself." And then they started denial of service, and what they did was so stupid by showing me the pattern of how they do that. Okay, years later, I suddenly get some old hackers that either left our association or doing their own thing. Hey, should we join this anonymous? How about this LulzSec group there? Da, 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 da. I says, I'll get back to you. And I looked at what was going on there, and it's the exact same pattern the FBI was using back then. And I went, don't do it. And yeah, there you go. So that's me in a nutshell. Okay. I also hold a business degree in business administration with a major in information systems. Okay. Got the highest computer mark in my college. Okay. And I used to make the doors you walk through. Okay. Got that job right out of college. Yeah, they hired half our freaking class, man. my my supervisor was also a schoolmate, so whatever. All these things, right? So you get these kinds of people that go, "You're a liar, you're this and that." Listen, man, I got nothing. I'm a man. I don't have to sit here and prove to you. You want to come, you're gonna find me in the world, and you walk up to someone and start talking like that. Expect your nose to be on the backside of your frickin' head, okay? Like that's why I laugh. I just go, I know your type. It does. It goes with black eyes all the time, right? So anyway, I had another user here who was asking me about how to do things and do them slower. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show, like, it's been a struggle with this class to get gear. Okay, I have to wait until 94th level before I can do things, and I was having a hard time there for a few days of whatever. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say, go over to this thing, and you got these items here. Okay, and these are how you get specialized marketplace items that you can craft using the legendary tokens and epic tokens. Okay, I don't have any epic tokens in here at the moment because they're over here. Let's put all this together. When you get epic tokens, when you take, say, this item, we'll do that. I'll show you how that's done. You go in here, okay, and you go to this person.
Let's take a look.
And you go to dismantle. You have to get the second quest from this guy here before she will allow you to dismantle. Until then, you can only salvage, okay? Which salvaging, right?
Tinkering is my specialty.
Salvaging gives you, or is it, salvaging will let you keep the item or the add-on, Okay, it does one or the other. Dismantling gives you some scrap like this. I'll show you. It requires dynamite. All of this now requires dynamite, and then you have to do this. Okay, and see how it did that? You have a 50% chance of getting a token, right? Okay, or you get scrap. Like if I do this again, and maybe it will. See what I mean? You get bad luck some days. Yeah, drag it up there. Here, let's do this. I don't need that. See, that's 3 of them. So sometimes it's real terrible luck. Need that. All right. And you get some of these. That's how you get some of these sometimes too. Where is this one over here? Oh, and the other point to make, if you have put an item in it, it will always give that item back and scrap. Okay, so don't use those if you for tokens. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just keep going here until I get a token. See, there's a token. So what I do is I drag that over here and put that over here. And this is how you clean your inventory, by the way. This is why I went at that one person who was going, I'm doing a speed run. I'm going, yeah, sure you are. And like I'm watching his video, and like literally every 5 seconds it would cut to another, another video. It's like he spliced all this video into like a 6-hour video, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, that's not a speed run. There is no speed running in this game until you do all these things. And I'll add here, I'll show you another thing in here. Here's a shortcut. If you got lots of money, okay, and once you get these, okay, and in order to get access to these the first time, that is, you have to go and fight the first boss, which
Bring me back something interesting.
hold on, is up here. You go around the corner inside that thing, and there's that little cave, and you go across it, and that's where you also get your first devotion point. Okay. What else was I saying there? Yeah, I was going to show you a shortcut. Okay, so you go out here, and you look for the Grim Quest Blacksmith. Right click on that. Okay? And you go like this.
I do the best I can.
Oh, I do the best I can. Then you find some blank inventory space. Make some room over here. Let's take that out of the way. There we go. Put this down here. Put this down here. Put this, let's see, there. Put this here. Then what you do is you go to this here, and you look through this one. Okay, it doesn't matter. Like you can take a chess piece, but it takes more. You want to take one of these purple ones. Like you can take something bigger, but it doesn't matter. Like the legs, I mean, like would take 6 spaces versus 4. So then, to make this purple item, it requires scrap and some of these. Well, these are the 3 common things. So you just go. Okay. You could fill this whole thing right up, man. And this is what I say. This is why you can't really do speed runs, but you can do some shortcuts. And then you go back over here. And this dismantle thing. Make sure you got lots of dynamite. Drop this in here. And look at that. I'm getting tokens without having to run around. Wow, that's pretty lucky. 2 right in a row. Now watch. I'm going to get like 6 tokens. Yeah, there we go. So I always take one from over here so you make space. Alright? This is why I say, right? Now, for epic stuff, you just run around collecting all the blue shit. And then you put it away, and then you just, at the end of a session, you go and you clean up your inventory and shit, and just get, like as you can see, I got 364 in my inventory because I went stupid at it. I got sick and tired of having to get tokens all the bloody to show you guys builds. Like, you see, you want to play the game, and I do too, but at the same time, we got to experiment and see what's viable, right? And you can do that. You can do it without things. Now, there's a few other things that I've done that I didn't really do before, but I'm doing now.
Goodbye for now.
And this build it's you got to keep moving. Okay, that's one of the things I'd like to say is you got to keep moving. And by doing that, it's harder for the range guys to target you sometimes. And one of there's two main things that I did that's different here. Now you'll see uh, this particular amulet, all right, it has a granted skill called Heaven Charge, and it's doing 68,000 damage. When I use a potion, I can get over 100,000 damage, okay? And it's the first one that you're using, okay? And we'll go over here. See how it's at 97,000 right there, okay? Now, the other point to make is that it's got an enchanted, it's got this sanctuary thing that's a granted item. Or where are we here? Whoops, wrong thing. Or where are we here? So this is if you had, it's a set piece, but I'm not using the set. I'm just using the item. Okay. Now what I did do though was I added this skill rune, Tainted Ruby of Gardal. Okay. And this is a thing that has to be toggled to maintain its effect, and it's a level 84 um, rune thing. And you'll ask yourself, well, how do I get that? Well, okay, you go like this, you go back over here, and it's this thing here, this reskill stuff. And what it does is it's got powers from some of the swords and items and weapons and stuff, right? So if you click over here, well, it's going to lag because there's lots of them, and you see these things here. And what I do is I go, and this is a tip for you so that you can do these things. I go away from here, so I get away from the lag. I type level, I go colon 1, and that will be, it will show level 1 items, but it will also show all the items from 11 to 19. Okay, there you go. So at level 15, I can add that item to an amulet or a ring. Now, for the rings, always take something that gives pluses to skills. Now, one of the things I'm going to change here in this build to make it even more powerful, okay, might be that instead of the assassin thing, go with the earth thing, because you can mouse over this, get up there, and you see that fire is 64,000 of that damage. Like, I mean, it's good. I got a rainbow of stupid things right at the moment, which that's going to change once I get some new gear. Like, I'm using some gear that unfortunately there was a set piece that I could have used for the assassin, but I don't want to try it because it says tag error or something or other in it, which usually denotes a bug, and I don't want to introduce bugs to my character class. Let's see. So now we'll go over the pieces of the equipment and I got most of the only thing I've changed in like 20 levels here, I think, was the sword here, and that's this one. Okay, and it's because it's got +1 to all skills. What I'm doing is I'm really pushing the earth stuff. Okay, and you got this here. I got 2 pieces of that. Okay, and you can see, you know, level 75, right? I got 15 levels lower. This one's level 51. I haven't found a set of gloves that's better yet. That 20 to 70 fire damage, plus 50% fire damage, plus 59% burn damage is incredible. And then look at the firestorm thing. Ooh, that's some nice damage. And this is the thing, right? And these powered antipod, that's that explosion that sees the little purplish, it's like poison. It just flies out of it. It looks like poison, but it's not, right? I tried looking for that skill in the reskill things, and it's not there, at least in that form. And let's see. I went and I got this item from one of these merchants, and I've yet to get anything better. I mean, it's giving me, if you go back up here and you look over some of these things, Pierce is a really high damage, right? Okay, and what's Chaos doing in here, right? Where's Chaos? Is Chaos even in there? No. So I could change that, maybe. But physical, 10% physical, you got physical fire, right? And the experience points and the +1 to levels. And where do you get those? Well, you get those from things like this. Oh, let's see here. So, and you got to think. This is where the Earth guy is, and this is where the assassin is. So you try to find gear first here, and then you'll go to here and here and here and here, and try and find something that would synergize to you. And it might be different
I'll
on
give you a
how
good
you're
price
doing
on what
things.
I've got
So you
left.
get into here and you go over here, and you see what they do. This is the problem with this mod, is that every time I use this, 99% of the time, I can't use any of this shit. Okay? It's disgusting. I mean, how am I supposed to get another, you know? Whoever's doing that is an idiot. Let's see here. Oh, I like that one. We'll just leave you right over here. Anyway, so you take it, and now when I reach 92nd level, I got that. It's not even blue.
Put it to good use.
Now, go over here, and so this belt gives +1 to skills of Earth Mastery, and there will be an upgrade to that. I forget. Oh, let's have a look. I think it's 94th level. Oh yeah, I got all these stupid things on. Go up here. That's one of the things. You can use the search bar to help you out a bit.
Got any more
Stuff.
scrap metal?
So belts. Greater. Is it just the greater one? Divine. Is there a divine one? Yeah, see, there it is. 94th level. So 94th level, I go to that. Right? Like, I mean, I could get all this equipment and then just, you know, the thing is, like,
Bring me back any blueprints you find.
you get a potion of mastery, which gets +50% to all damage, and I'm doing like 103,000 damage. Let's see here, okay, and I should be upgrading this, right? That's another one, but at the moment, you know, it's doing its thing. This pair of pants, I haven't found anything better yet. You know, see, even some of the items are, like this one here. It's nice. And of course, then you got these here. Now, while this weapon's doing a nice chunk of damage because of the fire damage, it's got the burning weapons thing and the sun powder. You get the Corvin sun powder when you go into, I'll show you here. It's another one. Just kind of walking you through all the different things you do here to get stuff. You go in over here, you go to that place, and you look for the really glowy. See, like see how this is like a dull yellowish orange. There's ones that are brighter. Those are the ones that give you that are like this guy. Come on, move. What are you doing? Come on, go through the door. See how this one's brighter? That's what I mean.
Come see what's left of
And you
my
have these
wares.
little things here, right? It's also where you can buy some dynamite easy, and you can go to the elite or ultimate difficulty, which I've already unlocked. Oh, let's see here. What else to show you?
Iron
Oh
well
yeah.
spent.
Dun, 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 dun. So these are the skills that I was using for Earth, and as you can see, I've got 3, 6, 7 things down here as sort of toggled, it's just crazy what this does. And that Heaven's Charge, it allows me to speed around. If I start taking some damage, I can speed away and take out a little numpty that's easy to take out, right? This is up to 28% to hit on, and I've got what? Next turn, I got what? 10 more points to add, and I'm done. So I'm gonna max this out, right? What is my critical? See, you got to look at stuff like that where you say, should I do my critical? 17% chance, not very likely, right? So you're better off taking these skills, which when they trip, they do massive damage, right? On top of whatever damage else these things was doing, right? And at the time, I thought, well, it's not going to let me have two of the same ability from two different items, and it does. And I thought, oh, this is cool. Now I can really have some fun. Woohoo! Uh, and like this is some of the things like this thing here, the skill rune of tainted ruby of Gardal at the bottom here. I wasn't doing that with some of the other builds. And I kind of think, okay, I'll put the plus ones here and then put this here for a power that trips because it scales. Okay. As you add points and things in here too, that scales. And it's and there's another one that I added down at the bottom here. Every time I kill a guy, I get 3% of my health and 3% energy back. So when you see me go into a group of enemies and kill 10 of them, there's 30% health restored. Okay. You see how this build is kind of neat? It's tanky. It's very tanky. And it's a fun build. Now what I'm gonna do here before I go anywhere, what would happen if I took 2 off of the dragon thing? Just see something here. So if I go back over here, how much of that is physical? Not very much, eh? Now, if I go over to Assassin, what's this do? It's going to bring down my offense a bit. It's going to bring down this a bit. I mean, you could add this points into this too, right? And then that left side. See, one of the main reasons I'm not as concerned about this, and this is like one of the things I noticed when using this, if I right click and zoom over to something and hit it, right? If it's one of those creatures that dies and leaves like a mess behind, you get hurt. Whereas this, even though it takes like what, 10 seconds or what is it? What's the cooldown for that? 14-second skill recharge. Even though there's a 14-second skill recharge, right? You don't get hurt. It's like it's insane. Right? So let me try that. Let's see here. What do we got in there for all kinds of mage cap? Do I have 2 mage cap things? I only have 1. Let me see here. Where did I get that? Well, let's do it with 1, and then we'll see what happens. So I gotta go get in there thingy. You go up here.
Safe storage, no questions.
All those will become, half of those will become epic tokens. Nope. Okay. So just type in Earth. Restaurant. There we are. Rings and metal. Metal. So right now there's 3. I got 3 on that. And the shock was that I was able to put the skill onto the reskill thing onto this item. Let me see here. What's it do again? Adds more fire damage too. What's the current thing doing? Critical damage, cunning, offensive ability, and movement speed. Okay, we'll do it with this item. So I'll bring this over. Put it on feet. I got volatile water on there. What the hell? 2% to all damage. Yeah, I'll do it with the ring.
I'll keep an eye on this.
Just cause. So then you go over here. That's where all these guys go over here. Click on this here.
Need something broken
Go to
down?
salvage. Right? Take the ring. Keep the item. Okay? Put the thing back for a minute. Right click here. Okay? Then you go back over to where this, let's click this on part. Where we go. Then you go right click again. And now I'm doing more damage. See that? And I haven't even used the potion. Which, let's see here. Yeah, I guess we'll just leave that there. Okay.
Goodbye for now.
Now let's go do a test. Now look at that. 99,000. And then what you do is you take your mouse and watch this stuff. The real test was over here. Now keep moving. You just slow down suddenly and take a damage. That's good money. See that little green thing? If you're stuck in that, you got to try and find a way out, because unless you got aether, in that case, you need heavy aether resistance. And that's one of the other kind of, I'm a bit low on, you know, these things and piercing. And there's those little rat men guys that throw little spikes at you. Yeah, I'm totally vulnerable to that. I almost get killed by that. That's how much this kind of stuff can help you, right? So it might be that increasing that will give you some longevity. All right. So anyway, let's see. Oh, and if you're going to craft, let me go back over here for a minute. All right. One of the things to think about here is when you're mousing over these abilities, you look at the one that's the highest, right? But do give the secondary ones a little bit of a look. Like the Pierce and Physical there is high enough that if you can't get a item that says fire, go ahead and try getting something with Pierce or Physical then. At least you'll be better armored with a newer piece of gear or do more damage in some fashion. That's the whole point, is that you progress, right? And you know, as far as devotion points, I mean, I'm not even. This character is going to be monstrous. Okay, I'm barely past the halfway point, and I'm looking at, if I type, you can go up here and type fire, right? I just got this one in here, right? I look down here, right, and say, and just go in the middle of it somewhere. See, I need 3 of those little donut-shaped things and 6 blue in order to get at this area down here. And meh, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where, okay, what about this one? So I need a 2, right? So what I did was I went over here and I'm going to do this guy, right? So I get some health. I'm going to get attack damage and some regeneration return. And then more physique, spirit, and defense ability, and then there's this thing, which I can attach to any one of those attacks or powers. And then the very first thing in here is 80% more fire damage, which goes on the base damage, not the total damage that you're doing now. It'll be a nice increase, trust me. Then you get here offense ability, right? Critical damage, movement speed, and that's offsetting me changing from the assassin skills to this, right? The plus ones. It's just going to be crazy. And look at this, adding that. That fire damage at the top. Remember, all these bonuses go on that base damage, okay? And then you got this one, and then this one, right? Like that's burn damage, like this one here, right? So 300, and where do you find all this information, right? For the damage types, right? Okay, where so physical's getting 773, and you can see you scroll down through here, and then you go into the magical areas. Fire has 17.5 times the damage, so that it was almost 400. So 4 times 1700. Okay, it's going to add thousands in damage. This character is just insane, and that's an AOE attack. Okay, the different AOE attacks and stuff like this one, 7-meter radius. That's the used on the left hand or right hand attack, so that's extra damage there. Same with this one, it's adding to that damage percentage. Same with this one here, gives you damage absorption and regeneration. This one does a 15-meter radius doing that damage. Okay. This one's doing that too, and then you got this one here, which is a 6-meter radius. It's granted by the item, you know. So I thought I'd do a little video on that. If there's anything I missed that you want to see, you know, like what I will do in the future is show you the steps of what I'm doing along the way, what armor I'm getting, what I'm not, because one of the things other YouTubers do is they do this stuff for entertainment. So that's while other individual was doing a quote unquote speed run, it's very entertaining to see it going around playing the game and fighting and everything. But then people are going, how do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do that? So those are the kinds of questions I want, because I'll teach you guys, right? And any little tricks that, you know, just share them around, you know, I don't care. Like I got about 900 hours in this game so far, and you know, I've got what 2 or 3 100th level characters now, so I know I'm building, and several of them that are just about there, right? And by the time I'm done here, I'm going to have a list of like 100 or 200 of these 100th level characters, and people go, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I'll just be able to point to a video that we do on it, right? And you'll get a feel of what you got to do. Certain character classes have certain things to do. And one of the things I wanted to make sure was that I had a lot of this stuff, the toggle stuff. And if you really want to power up, so get over here. When you do this, you can even type the word toggle into it and see what comes of that. Right? So you go Geo. So you can, and then you go over here, right? And these are all the ones that you could put on either this, or a belt. Okay. So, you know, this one's level 94, this one's 75, 94. You know, you just scroll down. Right. Oh, 84, 50, right? 84, 84, 94, 84, 84, you know. Now, you can also get ones like I got here. Where was it? Chance on enemy death, you know, like if you kill something and you kill lots of things, like imagine that on a Sparker. That skill is so broken, right? Fire doesn't go through walls, for Christ's sake. Okay, but yet Anyway, so you go into a map, an open area of the map, like, and just spam that ability, and you'd be just murdering everything and be invulnerable, you know. Especially if you put something like this on here, you know. You kill, you know, all it takes is to kill 30 enemies and you've restored your health, right? My old PC would fry using a Sparker class. Anyway. At level 90, there's some more gear that I can get to, so let me go up here. We'll just go in here. And this is another good place to farm ether crystals if you ever need those, is this place here. Just set the difficulty level up to, and that's another thing. Going from that, going from the difficulty that I've set in game, which you can do with this mod, to the next difficulty level is like, it's almost like a factor of 10. All these little guys with the stars that I'm having a slight problem killing, they're just everywhere. It's just, which means I gotta just muck around at this difficulty level, getting less experience until I get the next level where I can get more gear. So you'll see what I'm doing here is I leave the big guy alone and go for his friends. And he dies every time. Now this guy I just stand here for a second, get up, die, go away. And one of the other tricks here is when you see a group of aether crystals, just right click, and that's done. Okay. You go out here. And it seems like I load the map sometimes and it's busy and sometimes it's not. Okay. So what I do is I wander over here a bit. These are the guys that I'm following because they got a pierce attack. And I got like 4% resistance. It's like, die. See, as I kill him, I'm getting healed. Not worried about you, Spider. That's some good money. Get down here and see his numpty friend. Come on. Come on over here. Come on. There you go. Now you're. See? He had poison and pierce. Just about killed me, Ma. Oh, and the other thing I just wanted to say about some of these Twitter, they think like they're the only people that have a right to speak. You know, that's why, you know, and I said to the one guy, I says, you know, if you're sitting here yakking back and forth at me, trying to troll me, I got all damn day here, except for when I want to do a video. And then, you know, you're not bothering someone else. That really sinks into their freaking little minds. Oh, geez, Twitter, go make a web browser and get back to me, will you? Oh wait, you can't. None of these people can. That's why Firefox is so screwed right now. Woohoo, look at this, man. Yeah, baby. Good time. There we go, almost 90th level. So we'll just go through this. What I like about this character, I like speed. Go, go, go. Here, where are you? See that? I went in there and I got hurt. Ouch. Next fight's gonna give me a level. I feel it. There it is. Let's go. Come on, dude. I'll take you on. There's the friend. There's some more friends. Okay. Go up there. Spirit. Yep. What was I having before? I was going over here, I think. %, chance to get used. Okay, guys. So I'll let you go, and like I said, don't let people bug you. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to listen to that, just block them. You know, I don't tend to block people because I think it's amusing half the stupid things that people assume. You know, I imagine you go and you spend $15,000 on 3DS Automax to do your 3D special effects and animations because the local city has a program to put people who are disabled into not 8 or 9 of you into a program where you're all got different skills and you're doing things, and then you got 3 established business guys, and you're the only guy that does the special effects. So you're going to do business with all these people, right? And the foreign temporary worker program suddenly breaks news that they're importing foreign people and paying them less than $8 an hour. Okay, so I got this Twitter account that comes with the Autodesk package, so I never used it. Right? Like, you see, when you do something wrong, I criticize it. Okay, and that was wrong, and it got corrected. Okay. My immigration policy is I don't care who you are. If you got a good skill that is required or needed in my nation, come on in, join the party. Okay, don't sneak in, don't be an illegal and all this other crap because that just causes issues. Okay, do it right, do it the right way. You get respect that way. Like, look at the mess in the U.S. They have so many people sneaking in. They got to look at the potential issue of giving amnesty to people that do this, and they're doing other weird shit. It's a mess. The whole nation's a mess. It's going to take. I just. I don't even know if we want Americans coming up here because it's so messed. Do I trust their vaccines that they're taking? you know, can't trust their news outlets. That's for sure. I mean, you'll sit there and you'll see Fox doing some decent news and opinions, and then when they think they got the upper hand, they start going back to reverting to their old assholey selves, which some people never learn. Ooh, that almost killed me. Anyway, I'll go offline here, and I'm gonna go do some more, play some more. I'm gonna try and get to, once I get to like 94th level, I'll do the process of a video of gearing up and stuff like that so you can see how I do it and everything else. That way, everybody gets, an equal footing for what they know. Because another thing that I don't appreciate from YouTubers or streamers is that they get games like this and they don't show you how they do things, or they don't, and then you got to figure it out yourself, or spend 16 years asking people, when in fact, one of the problems with modding in this particular game is it's not telling you these things. You have to figure this stuff out, you know? Like, that's not cool. Where's the instructions? See, back about right after the time of Diablo 2, a lot of games started using third party websites for instructions and other things, not not making a real game anymore. I mean, I got gifted the Microsoft Game Pass, and I think I've installed 2 games, and one of them I wasn't, I'm not into card games. What the hell were you doing making a first-person shooter game with cards in it? That goes to EA too. I mean, I just, yeah, if I wanted to do that, I'd get Magic the Gathering or some stupid thing, right? Nothing against that game. There's people that like that stuff, but you know, not into it, man. And that's one of the downsides of and then that anti um, EA and anti card thing and anti monetization of oh, what's it called there? I forgot. But anyway, right around that time, Warframe came out, and they were all cards. How to get your powers, and I thought, yeah, if if there hadn't been the Battlefront 2 backlash, we know now what you were planning to do. Yeah, imagine having to pay for cards, eh? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I gotta say, that game is so well optimized. The only problem is that whenever I install it on this PC, I've got my pet that's like 800 feet tall. He's bigger than my ship. Oh, that's a common bug. I says, I never had it before on my old PC. You telling me that older computers are better than newer ones? Anyway, guys, take care.